Hey guys, what do the frequencies 1051 KMIL in Cameron, 98.5 KRXT in Rockdale, KBUK 1049 in LaGrange, and KTWL, I think that's their caller, 1053 near the Navasota Brenham area have in common? Right, they're all country stations. Why is there so many stations and very much weak stations all playing the same genre? Why can't we have just one gigantic country station for East Texas? Well, the reason why these stations are so weak, I think KMIL and Cameron is a C3 of 98.5 KRXT in Rockdale and KBUK 1049 LaGrange are both weak A-class stations. Ugh. And I don't know what KTWL 1053 is. Heck, I think they're licensed to Brenham, or are they licensed to Navasota? They're somewhere near the Woodlands. They all are weak stations, and they all need some help. I once had an idea, I think when I was in Houston, a day before the ice storm hit. I was wondering, could you make just one big country station that's between Houston and Austin? Excuse me, sorry about that. Houston and Austin on 105.1, and have it be at least like a C2 or a C1 to cover all, so we don't have to clutter the dial with just one genre. That way, this is kind of off the top of my head, so I want you to bear with me if I don't sound clear with this. KTEX 1061, KTTX, I think, is it KTTX, Brenham, Bryan College Station? That can be left alone. The stations I'm concerned with are KTWL 1053, KMIL 1051 The Ranch, and Cameron. I get Cameron and Caldwell mixed up. And 1049 KBUK in LaGrange. That's on, I think, I-71 going to I-10. And by the way, here's Violet. And 98.5 KRXT out of Rockdale. I've been wanting to help KRXT get away from that annoying translator. That translator goes all the way to Giddings. Yeah, that fake 98.5. I officially dub all translators as artificial intelligence. They're just AI stations. Yeah, all translators are just artificial intelligence. They're not real stations at all. I just think translators are just made out of jealousy. Oh, you like this station? Well, too bad. I'm going to block it just because it's not in my town. Yeah, something needs to be changed in the rules with radio, especially why does one format get to dominate others while another format gets zero attention? Like adult contemporary, smooth jazz, dance, easy listening, jam and oldies. Come on, there's more than just country, Christian, and auto-tune in the entire world. In fact, pop, for all main intents and purposes, is pretty much more deader than smooth jazz, seeing as a lot of pop stations are having to play country songs. Heck, I heard a country song on KMJQ 102.1, and that's an R&B station. Yeah, when I was in Houston, I heard a country song on R&B. If you have to stick another genre and say, oh, it's a crossover. Ooh. No. You just prove that you don't have anything else to play. You ran out of songs, especially when you're having to play remakes of other songs. Like that Anxiety song, that's just a pure, blatant ripoff of Gautier. When you have to play remakes and country songs and stick them in pop stations, you have no other song. That's when you know pop is dead. Especially when I'm hearing like Britney Spears' Toxic. Yeah, they're having to play a classic song because they don't have any new songs to play. What needs to happen is radio needs to reinvent radio needs to jettison everyone right now because they have no regard for radio. Right now, what I want to have happen, because M&M Broadcasting, which owns 1049 in Waco, where 929 in Waco Shooter FM had to retreat because KCBI kind of desecrated their frequency. They're both Shooter FM, 1051 KMIL and 1049. Is it KRMX? They're both Shooter FM. What needs to happen once M&M Broadcasting buys 1051 KMIL, which I still like to call the Ranch, they need to combine the two. What I would do is take 1049 out of Waco, move 1051 KMIL to Temple, and just have maybe a C2 or somewhat of a C3 be a Temple move-in, and just be the Ranch, your Waco Temple Ranch station, 1051 the Ranch, and M&M Broadcasting station. That would be really good because there's too many stations on 1049. There's 1049 in Pilot Point, that's north of Dallas. Then there's 1049 in Waco. Then there's a 1049 in Bee Caves, that's west of Austin. Then there's a 1049 in LaGrange. A 1049 licensed to Deer Park, which is in Houston. And I think there's a translator on 1049 in Beaumont. And there's a 1049 translator in San Antonio. No wonder. And also, don't forget, there's 104.7 KKYS in Bryan. Luckily, that gets to be a C2. And then there's a 104.7 KHSB in Burnett. Didn't we already go through with this in 1998 when we moved 104.7 K-Bay from 104.7 to 104.9 from Llano to Austin? How was there get to be a 104.7 in Burnett? That's near Llano. That seems redundant now. And the 104.7 in Llano or Burnett is just a KHSB Bridge Christian station. The dial is just so wasted because the laws have become so relaxed, because a lot of people at the FCC have been let go, so the rules have been too relaxed. We need to get rid of a lot of this stuff and go back to the way radio once was before, like 2004, 2005, back when the FCC cared. We need more stronger stations and lesser stations. You can have a strong station without having a bunch of signals. We've proven that time and time again back in the 90s. You've heard the term less is more. Radio needs to be reinvented because right now it's in a dire death spiral right now. Whenever I turn on the radio, it just feels soulless. Every station sounds the exact same and everything's being just so, it feels so cramped when you turn the dial. There's like a station on every single frequency. There's no spatial separation anymore. Something needs to give. I've always said, open up 76.1 FM to A7.9, the Japanese dial, and relegate all translators and low power and possibly some A-class stations down there. Yeah, because the A class and the translator stations, which are D class stations, they don't belong where they are right now. They're taking up space. They're just blocking stuff. It almost feels deliberate. Yeah. So what needs to happen is things in the rules need to change. I've heard rumors that, was it like 84.1 to 87.9 was rumored to be open soon, but that was never followed up. It was the antenna man that talked about it. There's nothing down there. I've checked. I've clearly checked. There's no interference down there. So in any case, I'll talk to you guys later. I'm sorry that this video is so long. Leave your thoughts in the comments. What do you think? What do you think about this mess with all these translators and the fact, why do we need so many low, little, tiny, weak country stations when we can have just one big country station between Austin and Houston? This has been boggling my mind for a few years now. Justice for radio against these AI, aka translators. I officially dub all translators as AI stations. They're artificial intelligence. They're not real channels. You guys have a great afternoon. I'm so sorry this video went on for so long. Bye.